Blur's in the game.
Choose your character.
All right. Welcome back to the Geekset Podcast, the only podcast that blend hip-hop culture and geek culture together. I'm your boy Deuces, and this is 101 with Deuces, the place where I speak with creators, curators, and people that you should know. And right now, man, you guys know I love talking to the new faces on the scenes, the actors and actresses that are killing it, that are coming up in the game. And we got a guy that I know that a lot of y'all see constantly, especially if you are a BET or BET Plus member. But we have the one and only Chido, and I'm gonna hope I say your last name right. Nwokocha.
Nwokocha, you close. Nwokocha.
Look, I'm close. But again, man, how you doing, bro?
I'm fantastic, man. Can't complain. I'm living a good life right now. We're good.
Hey, you know what? And that's, shout out to Noriega and Drink Tramps. What we make sure that we give people their flowers while they're here. And I want to let you know, man, the stuff that Tyler Perry is doing over there at BET, giving a lot of young actors chances, bringing new faces to Hollywood, but also just giving people, like I said, those lead roles or those heavy, written roles. And I know that weekly, I constantly see the timeline just go crazy over those shows. And Sisters is definitely one of those shows because, it has those captivating storylines. It has those cliffhangers, and you are a standing star within that show. But also, like I said, you're jumping into so many different realms, from being in Top Gun, Hawaii Five-0, even hitting the Days of Our Life circuit. You know what I'm saying, for those, and also jumping into video games. From my fan base and our followers to you, man, we want to say thank you for what you're bringing to the game and what you are thriving and striving to do and everything that's going to come, because like I said, right now we see the future brightly for you, bro, and we rally behind you, and I want you to know that we appreciate what you bring to this game.
I received that, man. I appreciate that a lot. I mean, I love those words, man. Thank you.
Yeah. So, doing my research, one, like I said, you are an ex-arena football player, which is crazy because, like, one of my closest friends, he does arena football, and he doesn't do it anymore. He coaches it, but he did it out here in Wisconsin. And I had a couple of buddies that was doing that. And, from a fan perspective, just only knowing in the college football and NFL, you always think arena football is like, all right, whatever, that's what it is. But then being able to see that, what I'm saying, from my friends, and then seeing how serious it is and how dope it is, and just like the commitment and everything like that. Like, I just want to talk about that for a quick moment. Like, that's being your first passion and everything. And you also getting your scholarship and just kind of finishing school, but also playing all that point of time in your life, man. What does football mean to you?
Man, I am, passionate about sports. I mean, it's been something I've been playing my entire life, and I can't stress that enough. I was, from playing basketball, football, track, like just year round, I'd be playing different sports. I've always felt like I was pretty good at everything I could pick up. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying I could have gone pro playing all those sports, but I just had a knack for just picking up sports.
Right.
And I was, football, basketball player coming up. Always thought I was going to go play basketball. Had dreams of playing like at Duke. And then all of a sudden, wasn't 6'4", 6'5", and I was like, oh man. And I wasn't a super, I'm 6 foot. So I wasn't like in a crazy guard like that. But I just, I love basketball that much. But I just remember my coach telling me, you had a better chance playing football to go the distance, to go a long way. And I love football. And I was fortunate in high school, stand out. And I went to junior college. I got hurt, but I went to junior college. I was able to put up good numbers and was fortunate enough to get a scholarship collegiately to Ohio University. Played a few years there, was the best experience, of my life, just getting a chance to, one, earn a scholarship, because those things are not given out there. I don't think people understand how many athletes are in our country trying to get a scholarship. And,
Right.
there's only a small percentage that get that opportunity to go to college and play football. And when I was able to do that, and, obviously I had dreams of playing at the next level, which is the NFL, like a lot of us did. And I felt like I had a good shot, but things didn't materialize. And, and I just kept chasing it, even a few years after I chased it, played in the UFL league, which eventually folded, and then got cut, and was like, all right, let me go try the arena ball, and play for a year, battle some injuries. But I was able to pursue it at a professional level, even though I didn't make it to the NFL. And I was able to actually also get it out of my system. And I think a lot of athletes would struggle with, what do we do after sports? Because it is part of our identity. Yes, we are passionate about other things. We may have other interests, but football is that crutch that we hold on to. That okay, at least I can hang my hat on this. And you never. I also say this: people never know that you're gonna get cut. You don't think you're gonna be the guy that doesn't make it to the NFL.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It'd be like, they say 0.1% of people, 1% make it to the league. And you're like, okay, well, I'm going to be one of the 1% until you're sitting in that room and someone's like, hey, you're cut. And you're like, dang. So it hits you, and you're just like, okay, I think that's the first time you should be like, okay, like, what's my next move? Like, what else do I want to do? Because, the NFL does stand for not for long. And again, not everybody gets to play 10, 15 years like Tom Brady or whatever, and go to the Hall of Fame. So, what's next for you? And I think a lot of, when you get a chance to sit with yourself and understand that you do have other passions, that you are good at other things, and this is just part of your journey. This is just part of the road to who you're becoming, what else is out there for you. And for me, after I was done with football and I was able to get in my system, I said, I've always had a passion for acting. I always wanted to act. I always wanted to pursue that at the higher level. And, obviously I watched the Will Smiths, the Eddie Murphys, Jamie Foxx, Martin, like all these guys, Denzel, of course, you're seeing them on TV, and you're just like, man, that's something I want to do. But they were obviously a little older, but they were inspiration. And I remember around like 2011, 2012, I actually saw like Michael B. Jordan. I saw him doing his thing, and that was kind of the first guy that was around my age group. You know what I mean? I was like, hold on, if I can do it, I feel like I can do it too, And he just, he was, big motivation, big inspiration, because, the first younger actor again around my age that I was kind of seeing pop off, and I was like, okay, this is something that I can actually really dive into. And you were starting to see the industry push a little bit more, not up there, but we're pushing a little bit more. We're getting more, diverse stories and diverse actors on screen. And I knew this was a time to make that segue. So I started taking classes. I had like a big old pro hog. I was like 20 pounds heavier, and I was like, when can I take off my shirt? When can I show off this hard work on screen? And it's like, it's not just acting, you gotta act. You gotta go to school. And I was like, okay, well, I'm going to take everything that I learned in football, everything that I applied, the hard work. I always had a chip on my shoulder, always, because I always felt like I wasn't blessed to be this fast, this tall, this athletic, but I always felt like I had enough. And that mentality has always stuck with me through every avenue. Like, I feel like I've been given enough, but I have to work for it if I want more. And so I just applied that to acting. Even though I started a little later, I just applied to, like, okay, committing to class, not getting caught up with the lifestyle and partying, trying to create some form of balance, but understanding, like, hey, if you were trying to be a professional in another avenue, you understood how hard that was and how many people are trying to do it. You enter into this industry where you didn't grow up in, you're competing against people who have been doing this their whole life, not to mention moving to a city like LA where everyone's trying to do the same thing. So there's not a lot of room for error, not a lot of margin for error, especially as a young Black actor. You know what I mean? There's not so many roles out there for you. So you gotta have your head on straight and really apply yourself to this if you want the opportunity to get the chance to make it. I always say it's an opportunity. Like, you can get the audition, you can get the opportunity to get there and showcase your abilities. It doesn't mean you're going to get it, So I made that transition. I was taking classes, driving back. I had like an 01 BMW. It was a 5 Series, and I was driving from Sacramento to San Francisco 2 days a week, taking classes. Ran that car into the ground. I was doing fitness. I was working in the hospital. I moved to saved up a little bit enough to move to LA and was working security, bartending, serving, weekends upon weekends upon weekends, booking big
Hey, got to
jobs
do
in
what you got to
between.
do.
But had to do what I had to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Weekends upon weekends. Again, just like hoping for your shot. And then I started a job. I remember I started a job, auditioned for Tyler Perry's other show.
Right.
It was the Oval. Didn't get it, so I flew back. Started a new job, man. Started a new job. My count was ran down. I was like, dang, it's ugly right now. First day on that job, I get a call and they're like, hey, they want to fly you out for this other show. It's called
Of
Sisters.
course.
You know what I mean? And I'm like, I'm hurting. I'm gonna need that. You know, you get that training check. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I said,
you need
I'm gonna
that
need
check.
that training check. And I remember my team. I was like, well, when they want me to fly out, and they're like, tomorrow. And I'm like, I just started this job. And so I went to the manager at the time. I was like, listen, I know I told you I was wanting to be an actor, but I actually have an opportunity to fly out to audition for the show. And he's like, oh, it's all good. Don't worry about it. You know, you'll go get it. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Fly to Atlanta, wake up in the morning, get a message from him saying, hey, I'm so sorry. Unfortunately, we're going to have to move on and get someone else in here to train for the job. So now I'm asked, oh, excuse me.
No, you
I'm
cuss. You can
done.
cuss. You
Okay,
can cuss,
shoot, I'm
bro.
asked out for the job.
Yeah.
So now I have no money in my account. I got to audition. Not test, not down to the final two guys.
Right. You don't even got the job yet.
So I'm stressing. And my other castmates always joke around because they remember me in the audition room. I'm like, going over the lines and everything. Like, okay, like, all right, like just trying to like just go in there. And I remember to calm myself down, I just prayed. I said, all right, God, listen, just let me go in there and do what I expect myself to do. I'm not asking you to give me the job. Just let me put on the best performance because I'm prepared. I'm ready. I've taken the classes. I've done the work. So let me do my thing. And if the chips fall, let the chips fall where they may. And so I remember I went in. I read for another role. Actually, not even the role that I got. I read for another role. And then they were like, "Hey, we actually want you to read for this other role." And I was like, "Okay, well, how much time do I got?" And they're like, "Well, you're going up after those other guys." And I was like, dang. So I, picked up the lines, went back in the room, man, laid it down, walked out, and was like, all right, I did my part. 5 days later, I got a call that you booked it. Man, I just did like 4 or 5 laps around. I'm a workout guy, so I had to go work out afterwards.
Right. You had to.
It was like a week after my birthday.
What was in the headphones? Because I know you had some music playing. What was the music playing?
Man, I don't even. What was I playing? I don't even know what I was playing at the time. It had to be something like Bay Area E40, like like tell me where to go, kick the stick, something. Because I was just
because I know I always says though there's 3 songs for me that once I accomplish what I'm trying to accomplish. So my role in blurred culture is the reporting of blurred culture. Like I told you before we started the interview, I like to celebrate and make sure people see like the geek that the media showed us is not what you think. It's not Steve Urkel all the time. You see a black geek. It's a lot of people like us, a lot of cool motherfuckers, or people that are doing some dope things, right? And so like I want to report on the dope people doing that, right? So the 3 songs that I got that I'm definitely going to play when things happen. One is Nipsey Hussle Victory Lap. Like that is going to get played.
Yeah.
Yo Gotti Racks. I got them racks. That is like my celebratory song. Like if I get the bag, I'm definitely celebrating with that one. And then the last one is Dreams and Nightmares, Meek Mills. Like it's all those come up hints, those songs that make you feel like you accomplished something. You want to know the biggest thing that I took away from your story though, and this is how crazy life works and how like I said, I don't know what people believe in. I believe in a higher power. I believe in God. So this is how I believe that God prepared you for that moment, because you dedicated a lot of your teenage and life and going into adulthood to sports. You wanted to be in arena football and everything like that. And a big thing in sports is being able to read that defense and audible and everything like that, right? You being a wide receiver, you got to be able to pivot, but you also got to know your route and know how to run. And right. So in that moment, like I said, yes, the reason why you were preparing, because like I said, you're reading that script, preparing your lines, but then they hit you with that audible, like, hey, we got to run this other line. And you was like, all right. And then you had to prep immediately. And it was like,
I already knew where to go.
Yeah.
Already
and
knew
that's
where
really
to go,
dope,
man.
That's really dope.
Yeah, so that was my story, just getting this job, and then after that, obviously the doors start opening up, and you
Right.
start, you get settled, I would say, because you're not really hurting for money anymore. So you're just like, okay, what's my next move? Let's take care of some things. Like now, let's really lock in. I think that's when the work
Yeah.
history begins to start. To me, that's when it just starts
Right.
beginning because you can't rest on your laurels. I think it's like when you make a team, some people rest on their laurels. You don't realize there's still five other guys working out on the side for your job. You know what I
Yep.
mean? You're not locked in with it. So I still always have that, like, there's still other characters being brought in. There's still other
Yep.
other black actors that I see coming up. And obviously we're rooting for each other, but I still have to make sure that I'm in the mix too. You know what I
Right.
mean? So I'm always still preparing, still taking classes, still coaching on my work, still taking care of my body, my mind, spiritually, everything, making sure that I'm sound and just ready for my next opportunity that's going to come. And I know there's going to
Right.
be another one, and it's going to take me, and it's just going to keep going up. And as the notoriety comes, obviously there's more expectations. There's more, you
Yep.
definitely want to give back to other actors that are trying to do the same thing. And you're definitely still pulling knowledge from other actors that have come before you to understand how to navigate these new levels that you're at. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Being known and how to move and manage your money and expectations that come along with it. So
Yeah. No,
it,
and
it's
like I
been it's
said,
been a journey.
but it's like I said, your discipline is what's going to help you float because
Mhm.
one, like I said, even the way you even presented it earlier on, you was like you started jumping into acting a little bit later, right? But like
Mhm.
one of the things that this world has showed us now, and you're a living embodiment of it, is that there's no more timetables. I'm a big advocate
No.
for that. I tell people all the time, I'm like, look, there's so many people in this world that's going to tell you, hey, Chido, you can't do that, man. That's a little bit too
Right.
late, right? And I said, I'm never going to be that person for people, right? So I'm like, share me your dreams. And even if I don't know that field, I'm going to be interested and give you my undivided attention because I know that there's more people that's going to write you off versus the person who's going to. And I do that in my everyday walk of life, right? And so
Yes.
when you think about like your commitment, like I said, you said like you started late, but you didn't take it as a, all right, I got this working against me. You say, you know what? I'm gonna hit the ground running. I'm gonna make sure that I
Yeah.
study this because one of the things that I love about Twitter and the social media right now is that everything is documented, right? And so
Right.
when I'm going back and I'm like I said, I do extensive research when I do my guests, right?
Yeah.
And I love the fact that you are one of us, right? You was
Mhm.
on Twitter when Power was going crazy, and you was typing
Yeah.
every
Yeah.
Sunday, like, "Oh, what is going on?" Right? You was when Marvel was coming up, and you was seeing those trailers. You was like, "Yeah." But the one thing that I loved about how you tweeted about it too is you always shouted out the writers, and to me, that is a
Yeah.
person who pays attention to details. Because the reason
Mhm.
why I love Lovecraft Country, yes, Jonathan Major did his thing, and that cast, Journey Smollett, and everybody did their thing. But
Yeah.
Misha Green's writing is what
Oh
captivated
my
me. Like,
God.
yo,
Yeah.
right. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
There's
I
nothing like
peeped that.
watching some good writing. It's
Yeah,
nothing
and I
like
peeped
watching
that
good
in
writing. You're
you.
just like, whoo. Yeah, yeah, man. So
Yeah.
I'm just a big fan. Like you said, I love showering people with love and just giving people, like you said, giving people their flowers, man. And you're watching other
Yeah.
artists do their thing, and it's just beautiful. But also too, I pick success from other people in different realms, and you can learn a lot from multiple people in their
Right.
journeys, whatever whether it be a doctor, whatever, whatever they do, because you're just hearing those trials and tribulations, how they got there, and you can depict it, and you're understanding, you're listening to certain things that, like, oh, okay, there's perseverance, there's endurance, there's a set of discipline, there's different things you can pick up from people's stories to understand where they got to where they're at and why they got
Right.
there as well. So, in my particular field of my journey, I say, listen, I can't tell you exactly how to become an actor because there's so many different ways and different stories. You didn't,
Exactly.
but I can tell you my way. You know what I mean? Because
Right.
you didn't play football. You didn't do this. You didn't. My story is different. My journey is different. But you can pick
Right.
pieces of it. Maybe you do relate because you used to be an athlete, or maybe you do relate because you might have started late. And I never took that as a bad thing. I was just like, okay, well, I didn't start like at 8 or 15 or 19, but I have a lot of life experiences. So when I'm reading some of this stuff, I can pull from this. I've seen these guys. I've served, walked to tables with a business meeting and rich guys sitting there
Right.
talking. I've seen the way they sit and talk and how they, interact with women or interact with staff. I've seen the different guys in the locker room, the monolith of black people, like, you know, the super jocks, the guys that were like playing football and going up and they love their chemistry and they love math, the guys that were in the comic books and stuff like that, the different realms. So I know it's like, oh, this that kind of reminds me of this person. And if I can remember that, I can pull pieces from there and I can create this person here. Well, this reminds me of this, you know, and I just pull from that. So, you know, a lot of it is just life experience and watching. Actors are people watchers. I'm a big people watcher.
Yeah, but it's like, that's the big thing though. Like these type of stories need to be told though, because you got to think about it this way. You know, let's keep it a bean. In America, you know, white America has as many chances as possible to be successful, right? As long as we've been black in this country, they've told us that we had 3 ways to get out. Either you're going to be a ball player, either you're going to be a rapper, or either, like I said, like either like you're going to end up in jail or dead, right? Like that's what they tell us, right? And so what I love about stories like yours, or like even like somebody, even, you know, people like Spice Adams and stuff like that. And the reason why I equate it the same is because, you know, a lot of the times they tell us once you get that one shot, that's it. They like you'll hear people say, hey, Chido, don't fuck it up, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, no, I can continue and grow and I can evolve and I can do multiple things. And I love seeing when people like here's the thing where your story, what is really dope. And also it also kills a stereotype, right? So we all know, like, I mean, Yvonne Orji talks about it all the time. You're Nigerian, so we all know the stereotype of Nigerian parents. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to go to school, right? But you did that. You went to school. You got your degree in health administration, right? But then, not only that, you were successful in football. Like I said, an arena football again. Just as much as everybody's shooting for the NFL, there are people that are also shooting for these other football opportunities, and arena football is constantly growing, right?
XFL, USFL that's going on right now. Guys are trying to play in those leagues, you know?
Yeah, and so you were successful there, and now you're being successful in, you know, in the acting world. And it's showing that, like, look, we are not monolith, and we do not have one way to make it out of the bad predicaments that we've been set up against. We can come and we can make it here, and we can also set up ourselves so that way we got something to fall back on. Because again, in white America, that's what they have. You have a lot of actors and actresses who started off when they were like 45, 50. Steve Carell didn't really pop off until he was like 40. Now, granted, I'm not saying taking anything away from him, but you don't hear those stories often. And when those stories do happen, they often get like overshunned. Like people make it seem like Jeffrey Wright, who's an amazing actor, was popping as a young actor, and he wasn't. But his career is amazing, and shows that, like, look, there is no timetable. If you have a skill set and you have the determination, you can jump into these.
You can make it happen.
And I love
you can make it happen. And I tell people too, don't be afraid to pivot. You know, I obviously I pivoted. You know, you hear people. I committed to being a lawyer and everything, but I have this passion because I wanted to start this. Small business or something. It's like, well, listen, if you want to do that, then there's no better time than now to do it. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to be locked into it. You can pivot. You're still young enough. Like, you hit your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, and you think you're old, or you're not. You're still young enough to make things happen.
Right.
You know what I mean? And if you depending on where you're at in your life, if you're single or you have responsibilities or whatever, if you have a partner, you can make that work with them and make that pivot. You can make that stuff happen. It's never too late to do anything. I'm a firm believer in that because I've started and stopped countless amount of things. And nobody was going to, I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to open up a fitness business and I'm going to blow up fitness and I'm going to be business. And I was like, actually, no, I don't think I want to do that. Well, I got my degree. I'm going to go work in a hospital. I'm going to go, you know what? I don't want to do that either. You know, it's just until I find what's really going to make me happy, what's going to wake me up each and every day and be like, man, I'm really glad I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm really doing what I love right now. And I'm in that space right now where I'm actually waking up each day and I'm like, damn, I'm really doing what I love. And now I get to expand that into other stuff that I'm still passionate about and contribute in other ways. Because I still love sports. I still love giving back to the youth. I still love speaking and talking to, younger kids that are coming up and be like, and letting them know, hey, listen, yes, go all out with you. If you want to make it, yes, go all out. But just understand, you can do other things. There's other stuff. It's not over. I always want to get that part across. It's like, it's not over.
It's not over.
You know what I mean? I know it's like, you can't have a plan B if you have a plan A. It's like, listen, man, it'll be all right. There's something else. Okay.
That's Is that hustler's mentality. People have a hustler's mentality, but people also have a misconstrued hustler's mentality, right? People think that you gotta have the one route. And granted, like I said, I'm a hip hop head, and I know that kind of came from hip hop, but that's because of what we was fed with, right? But then look at some of the top hustlers that we grew up listening to: Jay-Z, Diddy, you know what I'm saying, Master P. No matter what era of hip hop that you came from, a lot of these people, they don't have one hustle. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like,
you're seeing it right now.
Right.
You're seeing it right now where all those names that you mentioned, if you ask them right now, are they still rapping? They'd be like, they're touching so many different things. Obviously, that's a passion. Yeah. They use that first thing as a vessel. I mean, the vessel to go up, and then they just expand it out to all the stuff that they're doing. So it's like that's they showing you the blueprint. It's right there, no pun intended on that, but that's just blueprint that's right there in front of you, right there, what they're showing you. So yeah.
And continuing in the sports world, the most randomest cameo of yours is you are a random ref in the NBA 2K. Bro, how did that
I'm not gonna speak too much on it because it's so funny because cats will be like, they'll message me, on social media or whatever, and be like, man, bruh, I know that you want to. I just be like, hey, man, that's someone that look like me. That's just someone that look like me, man. So I never really talk about it too much because I always let people piece it together. And it's usually dudes like, couples that, the women predominantly watch our show and make their boyfriends sit down and watch it. Though some guys obviously enjoy it as well. And then people sitting there like, came up to me and said, yo, bro, I was watching the show with my sister, my girl, and I was like, hold on. That's that dude on the game. She's like, what? No, this Gary. He's like, no, he on the game. Pulled up the game. So I love hearing those stories, man. But yeah, I'm gonna say it once. That is me, and then I ain't gonna say it again.
But you also you was in another game that was Mafia 3. You did voices in that, right?
Yeah.
So are you
I always wanted to do that, man. I used to play video games heavy.
Okay.
I'm slowly getting back into it. I'm getting the system. Man, I used to play it so much that I was like, I need to play. Because at the time, that wasn't really an avenue at the time. You know what I mean? As I was coming up, it wasn't gaming wasn't fully where it's at today, where you could really make it.
It's cinematic now, bro.
Man, I feel like I missed the window just by a good 7-8 years. I was heavy playing games, heavy. Yeah. So. But now, obviously, one of my other goals is to continue to, be either, obviously voicing and also being a part of video games because I love it. I just love it. I love even seeing people play games, and I'm like, or I watch the commercials, and I'm like, dang, I want to be a part of that.
Yeah. I mean, but also you got to think too, like outside of just the video gaming, like the games are being turned to shows, and The Last of Us was masterfully done. I don't know if you ever played that game or watched that series, but that is the best video game adaptation turned to something like a movie or a series, right? They did it so well, and the game was already cinematic itself. But even you think about where GTA came from, those stories are crazy. You know what I'm saying? And
they're turning them into films now too.
Everybody has the stereotypical on what a black geek is. Are you familiar with the term blurred?
Blood, no.
Right. Some people said it came off of Scrubs. Some people said it came off the internet. I don't honestly really know.
Don't you see the skin? The eyebrows, the hair.
Yo, my geeks still rock, Dunks or Jordans or whatever.
Did I do that?
It's exciting. It's like, oh, my dog is gonna start barking.
It's all right.
She's excited about it too.
And same as you said, like a barbershop talk, we would go into really in-depth conversations about these theories and well, what if and how come?
It's not unusual to be
right? But we talk about anime, video games, comic books and stuff like that, but when you hear us talk about it, the passion sounds like we arguing Jordan and Bron.
What do you mean? What does that even mean? What does that even mean?
It sounds like barbershop talk.
Because you don't know the history, don't mean it ain't happened,
You broke that down right there.
But when you see the black geek, you don't see that. You see the socially awkward glasses. Well, this is me. And that's not a lot of us. A lot of us do sound and talk like us. You know what I'm saying?
Because it becomes stereotypical, as if that's where our strength comes from.
I don't know the geek that you talked about before. I know the geek you're talking about right now, though.
It was sort of a call sign so we could find each other on message boards.
Anime gives you life lessons throughout that whole thing. Like, there's not one anime that I know of that doesn't teach you to never give up.
It's just like, I just love seeing us go into the world and go into these different spaces and create things that weren't there before. And then it was like Miles Morales is like the normal, black person in the United States.
That was my first blurred moment, was seeing, Storm on the X-Men cartoon series. And I was like, wow, that's a black woman and she's strong, she's powerful.
That's what I want for us. I want us to be that voice.
What I'm saying is so, for the longest, we got, it wasn't really dope comic book movies. It was you liked it, but it was it's a small niche. I like Batman Begins, but I'm not putting it up there with Infinity Endgame, Avengers Endgame and stuff like that, right? So this is the start, because now those video games, when Iron Man first came out, take it back. When Dark Knight first came out and you saw it and you said, yo, this is the Batman that I always wanted. That's how video games is getting to right now.
I still watch that movie every quarter.
Yeah.
All three of them.
Yeah.
Quarter. At first I was watching it every month, and I was like, I got to pull back. So now I'm like, okay. Every 3 months, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to watch all three of them all the way through. Yeah. It's my
That's your jam, right? Yeah.
Joker, Bane. Yeah. Love it.
Dark Knight showed us. I would say Dark Knight showed us that you could be serious with these films. It doesn't have to be campy. Yeah.
You could be, and I like my stuff a little. I like my stuff a little darker, a little edgier, a little more grounded. How would you fit it into this world? You know what I mean? And so I love Marvel. I love DC. One of my biggest goals is to be a comic book hero. They send me a role I'm like, no. I gotta be a hero. I gotta be a comic or anti-hero. I gotta be in that world. I want to be a villain, anti-hero type deal. You know what I mean? But I gotta be a part of it. That's end game for me. That's end game. They'd be like, oh, you're gonna win an Oscar. I'm like, yeah, that's great. I gotta get that.
But you want to be in DC though, right?
Listen, I'm not gonna write off Marvel. Don't get it twisted. I want to be a whatever happens. I'm with whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because you got to think. Yeah, because you got to think.
Marvel's a little lighter. They've had Captain America: Civil War.
Yeah.
They've had a few that were a little dark, a little edgier. Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
But DC's always been a little darker.
It has.
Always been a little more grounded. And I've always just gravitated to that.
I'm a DC fanboy myself. I say I love Marvel, but DC is my shit. If you haven't watched the animated stuff, the movies and stuff like that on DC, you should, because they get so the stuff that you love about the Dark Knight, if you Flashpoint, and they're all on HBO Max, because I know you. I know you a streamer. Yeah. Go to the DC tab and watch any of those Justice League movies. I know the Dark Side War, the Dark Side saga and the wars on there is amazing. But Flashpoint is really one of my favorite ones. Anyone, I guarantee you, because again, one, you like the writing, right? And those writings, they rival Marvel's movies. DC's animation is that good that it rivals the live action Marvel and how good it is. But I wanted to get into it because I was saying I love when actors express where they want to go or stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because me being a the resident blerd, bro, DC has one. We still haven't locked down our Jon Stewart, which you would kill it. You would kill it.
I was gonna go there, but you said it, so then I ain't got to you over here can't. I know. Listen, that exactly. I was like, I ain't seen Green Lantern. Every time I go on deadline, I'm like, I ain't not the Green Lantern yet. Okay, I'm still in it.
Because when I think of Jon Stewart, so in the animated series, and in the movies, Phil Lamar voiced Jon Stewart in the cartoons and everything like that, right? And he has this commanding voice, right? And so just knowing what you can do with your voice, you can have that commanding voice. But again, you're also physically fit. You have the stature of an authoritative figure. So knowing that Jon Stewart is, he's the one that pretty much monitors that sector, and you got to have that where it's like, all right, I can see Jon Stewart as a leader, but also I respect him as an authority figure. Also, I ain't gonna try my luck with him because he look like he can throw these hands. Like,
yeah.
Like you fit all the modes right there, bro.
That's why I've always loved it. I mean, I box as well. I box like 3 days a week. I'm always in there, get my spar on, try to time it out so I'm not interrupting my film. I don't want to get no shine or nothing, when I'm filming. But always staying physically fit and take care of myself. Just because that's my nature. I play ball my entire life. But also in the back of my head, I'm like, I want them when they look at me to be like, this guy already has it already.
He's ready.
They don't
have to give you. They don't got to give you the. Chris Pratt treatment.
We don't need. I don't need. No shade to those guys. I mean, I know.
No shade to them at all. But like, you don't need.
Listen, I don't need it already. I'm already here. Now, when we get the resume, I'll go to another level. But I'm already here. I'm already. We can turn on the cameras right now, and I can go in here and be the CEO. You know what I mean? That's my mentality. That's how I'm always training. So I know when I do get that opportunity, you give me the meal plans, the extra meal plans, the extra discipline with the outlook of this is what we're getting ready for. Man, alive. But
so
I will be a problem.
Being that you box and like I said, you already. How did you like Creed?
I loved it. I loved it, man. It was really good. And Michael B. Jordan. I mean, I'm big Michael B. Jordan fan. He's doing his thing.
Yep.
Jonathan Majors doing his thing too. And just watching that, it was Michael B. Jordan's directed it as well.
Yeah.
The shots they created. I know he had like he wanted to create like a lot of the anime into a lot of the fight scenes, which you could see, get punched, you see the sweat fly off of it and everything like that. It was clean. It was really good. I just thought the contrast in the story was amazing. Jonathan Majors, just the character that he created, and then Michael B. Jordan, obviously, leading that franchise and holding it, and the contrast between the two characters was great. And I love the story of them coming from where they came from, and then because that is very relatable. We do like ball player. I have guys that I know that were 10 times better than me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, whether it be some unfortunate circumstances, or whatever, just didn't piece it together. And you can kind of see how how they would eventually cross paths again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I thought that storyline was great. It was just a great movie. And I'm wondering, I'm like, if they would do another one or something. But if they do, listen.
Hey.
I'll start the campaign. I'll start the campaign right now here on your podcast. Your boy is ready.
Hey, I love that. But so the reason why I did want to bring that up also too is because I know around the time when the pandemic hit, I saw that you were. I don't know if you was talking to one of your peers or whatever like that, but you were saying that you were getting into anime. Have you started your journey yet?
No, not really. My brother would say no. My brother's huge. That's why backtrack just a little bit when you talked about you in the beginning. Like there's so many guys that are into this stuff, and I was like, yeah, because my brother was the same way. And I to all the anime folks out there, much love, but I wasn't on board in the beginning. My brother was watching anime, and I'd be like, man, turn this off, man. Pick up the ball, go play ball. Like let's go work out. Like we got time for this. Let's play some video games. Not that video game. Play Madden. Put on NCAA.
Right.
Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And he's like, bro, you gotta watch something. And every now and then I just peek in. I'd be like, that was actually good. Okay, that was good. Okay.
So here's the thing.
So
what I love to do is I love getting people like you who have that small interest, but who needs to kind of get into it, right?
Because there's so much, and it's like, which was the one to start with? Like, where do you start?
I got you.
And it can't be One Piece because One Piece is like, so it's
See, that's why I got you.
Yeah. Okay.
So here's the thing, because again, I do my research, right? So knowing that you're into boxing, there's a boxing anime called Megaloblocks, right? And I'm gonna send it to your people.
Okay,
to tell
cool.
I like making lists, but Megaloblocks is it's pretty much like the world has went to kind of like these mech suits boxing, right? But one boxer, he's like, yo, I got these hands and I don't like to do all that, right? But I want to box and I got to. So he gets this old, like raggedy, like it's like enhancement. So it's not like full robot, it's like enhancements that go on top of your body, right? And everybody's clowning him like, bro, this material is not fit for this boxing. But because of his natural skill and combining it with the technology, he becomes one of the dopest boxers in that league, killing it. That's one you should check out. My Hero Academia, for your love of superhero. It's pretty much a school training all the new young heroes, but they look up to the new, the already established heroes. You got to get your heroes license and everything like that. Like you will love that. And then there's another one called Kuroko's Basketball. It's pretty much basketball, but like it's like to the extreme. So imagine NBA players now. Steph Curry, like you said, he got unlimited range, but it's like the anime trope. So it's like somebody's like, oh my God, that's Steph Curry. He can shoot from anywhere. And they go through the whole anime intros and everything. And he's shooting and like it's like their powers up, or like LeBron, it'll be like this amazing dunker. Like, oh, he could jump out of the gym. But it's like these animes, I'm gonna send them to your peoples because I think as star animes, they're not long. They're short enough for you to start to see, like, okay, is this something that I'm gonna like? But the stories are good enough where, again, with your love of writing, you're gonna be like, yo, this is like, because that's what I tell people about anime. The aesthetics when you see it, when you see it, it looks like, okay, it's a cartoon, right? And anime is anime. So sometimes you may see some random anime titties and you're like, wait, what are you really watching? But it's like, yo, that's not the whole thing. That's not the whole thing. But the writing, I legit seen people cry over anime because that writing is so good and it pulls on your heartstring. So yeah, and again, I think that you will love them based off of that, off of the writing and everything alone. But then I think it'll also, like I said, how Michael B. Jordan saw those elements and said, I want to put that in a movie form, because even outside of the sweat, the whole punch that he did to Jonathan Major's stomach, that was based off of like Dragon Ball Z. Even that moment where the crowd goes away and it's just them two boxing, like that is like all that is.
I see those elements. Yeah.
And so like I think like, I'm gonna send this list to your people because I think that you gonna like it'll be a good introduction to it. And then also like your brother, you'll shock your brother because these are some deep animes too, because like you got the surface levels, right? It's just like superhero movies. Like you talk about superheroes to the average person, they're gonna be like Superman, Batman, Spider-Man, but these are the ones that people are gonna be like, wait, you like your brother gonna be like, whoa.
How do you know about them? How do you know about them? Yeah, that's gonna be love. I like that. I like that.
I like making lists like that for people because again, I like bridging the gap. You know what I'm saying? Because again, the stereotypical of what an anime viewer is, they make it seem like it's those nerds, it's the socially awkward person and everything. And like I said, I like breaking that, man, because you're familiar with our DC World, right?
Yeah, oh my God, yeah, hilarious.
So
hilarious.
They put on, I don't know if you ever been to like a comic book convention, but they put on their own con called DreamCon.
Yeah, I just saw that. I saw him post about that. Yeah.
Bro, so our first time going was last year. The reason why I loved it so much, so I go to a lot of comic book conventions. We just left C2E2 in Chicago. We're from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, so we kind of just travel, go to these conventions, film, because we're filming a documentary. But we went to DreamCon. This was in Texas. When I tell you that it was nothing but people that look like us, cosplaying, wearing costumes, showing love, just all love, right? And then also the talent. Like you go to these comic book conventions, and the talent is not as diverse as we like it to see, like who's on that main stage. But at DreamCon, it was nothing but us. And then the last part to me that really sold it is, in the Black community, the most respected members in the Black community is mothers and fathers, older people in the Black community. So in this DreamCon, the whole security staff was older men and older women, and we gonna give that respect. So it was like, hey, how you doing, sir? Like, and I love everything about this con, and then also the smells. There's a joke that comic book conventions, the nerds be musty. But Black people, we don't play about our smells. We don't. And so at DreamCon, all you smelled was just smell good, cocoa butter.
Smell good, cocoa butter, everything. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Fresh.
I was like,
everybody fresh. You're not dressing up, getting there and being on. You ain't gonna call me musty. You know what I mean? I can shake a lot of allegations. I think I said on Twitter, I can shake a lot of allegations, but not musty.
You
Like,
can't shake the musty allegations. So, bro, like if you ever like really start diving into this geek world and you just want to connect with blurs, man, there's a BlerDCon, there's DreamCon. Like, go to regular comic book conventions, but come to the all black ones and see this experience, because it is an experience. It's just different. It's the way we talk. It's the way that we do things, you know, because like we're doing character, but we're like, you know, I'm not cutting. I invested in my locks. I'm not cutting my locks.
Right.
So right. So my T'Challa gonna have locks, but it's like, but I'm gonna swag it out. You know what I'm saying? Like I saw somebody did. At C2E2, there was a black guy. He was President Loki. So, you know, remember when they showed all those Loki variants in the Loki show? Yeah. He was President Loki. But because he was a black man, he was a little bit taller, had locks, had the full beard and goatee. I said, bro, it's just something about your aura that makes this President Loki my favorite President Loki. Like, it just looks, you know what I'm saying? It looks swagged out and everything. And so it's like, it is that, you know, you'll see a Spider-Man or a Miles Morales, but also he got chains or something like that. It's just like, it's everything, bro. Like, you got to come out whenever you get it. Whenever
I'm going to have to come. Maybe already see you buy me out or something, but I'm definitely going to check it out.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And again, you know, it's the love that we give. You know, one of the like ongoing jokes on the internet, but it's something that we do as a culture, is that we black people, we are inherently welcoming. You know, that's why we always invite people to the cookout. And that person's invited to the cookout. And they do something crazy, and we're like, we got to rescind that invite. You can't come.
You can't come. Can't come.
But it's that. So it's like then. So at these spaces, because everybody knows that, like, being a nerd, you've been socially outcasted for the longest. So in this place, we hyping you up. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I love about it. I love seeing Michael B. Jordan tap into his nerd side, and Meg Thee Stallion tap into her anime side, and like you're seeing all these people just saying, like, you know what? I am a nerd. You know what I'm saying? I like comic books. I like anime, man, because it is that. It's like, yo, we didn't have to grow out of it. It's not childish. Obviously, some of these things have really more adult themes as well, but it's like, you can find something everywhere.
You can find your space in that world there.
Yeah.
So it's dope though. Yeah.
All right, so a couple of more segments and we'll get you out of here. Now, I like to have fun, and we have what we call Geekset Hypotheticals, right? So I'm going to ask you, it's a two-part question. The first question is, we're going to talk about apocalyptic scenarios, right? And I want to ask you, which apocalyptic scenario do you give yourself the best chance of surviving? We have the zombie apocalypse, the alien apocalypse, or the robot apocalypse.
Oh man. Okay. Because the robots, man, they get with all technology, they can tap in anywhere. I put that movie, iRobot really shook.
Yep.
I was like, oh, hey, no. But the zombies, what type of zombies are we talking about? Because there's some zombies that, like, you need these
that's what we're going to dive into.
Kill them.
Yep, we're going to dive into that.
And aliens, they just more high tech. I think I can get past. I'll put some. No, I get back. I get on these. I get on some aliens. We get back to
aliens. All right,
we'll
go aliens. All right. So now there's 3 tiers of aliens. So the first aliens is the Mars attack aliens. So those are the ones, the little green guys. You know what I'm saying? They may got the ray gun. Like, you know, how's your hand? You said you got those hands, and also, but like, how do you see yourself faring? If we had to put it in years, how many years you giving yourself with the Mars attacks?
I'm giving I'm gonna build. See, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna build. Not only am I have my weapons, but I'm gonna build like some fish that like have some like little power. So like when I hit you, I'm dropping you too. It's not just gonna be a punch. It's like when he hit him, like boom, like they hand it, you know. Because sometimes they're gonna get a little closer on you, just bam, and drop them, you know.
Yeah.
So you said that's the first one, the first wave. I'll give myself. We'll go. This is the first wave of aliens, right?
Yeah.
This the first wave. Man, we're going 10. We're gonna be there solid 10. We'll be able to adapt.
We'll be able to adapt. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So
the next wave.
The next wave is going to be the Independence Day aliens. So now those are the ones shipped mainly. How comfortable? Now listen, you was in Top Gun. How comfortable are you flying in that aerial battle?
The aerial battle scares me now.
Okay.
The aerial battle scares me because it's just, you know, man, you in the air, it's just too many variables going on in the air. You get hit, your shit go down. Oh man, I'm giving, and I don't know who my partners are, who else I got in this, who I got in this attack with me. So we're gonna dwindle this down, man. It's gonna be about 3. It's gonna be about 3. You know, now, I'm hoping whoever. Yeah, go ahead.
Now, this last one is the one that usually gets a lot of people because this is a little bit more scary, but we got to go to Xenomorphs. We got to go the traditional Aliens franchise. You are stuck on a ship. Now, you do still have the heavy artillery like they have on the ship.
I still got my weapons? Okay.
Yeah, but you got to fight off those Xenomorphs.
That's too real, man. I'm optimistic and I want to believe. I'm gonna say we're just gonna get through. There's gonna be a lot of casualties.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a lot of casualties. We can say we'll probably get a year because they still gonna have to we just gonna give it a year.
We're gonna give it a year.
That's
tough. So here's the two things, and you know what? I've been saying this a lot on with my interviews, and I'm gonna change it soon. So my biggest concern with any apocalyptic scenario is I haven't had an opportunity to test my skill set, right? Like I believe I can make fire, but I never really had an opportunity to make fire. So I don't know
how
if
fast can you make fire under pressure?
Right.
It's under pressure. You're about to die. So how do I get this thing going? And you like to think you're confident and cool, but then you think like, see, that's another variable too.
Yep.
A lot of us are not working with our hands as much as say previous generations have, you know what I mean? Whether it's building, creating, all that stuff. So then you factor in the pressure of aliens coming after you're going to die. Man, we might have to knock off some time. So I'm going to say 10 years for one, we might drop that to like 5, 3 years for another. That's a year and a half. And for the year when I said 6 months, because some people are going to die.
A lot of the times when we go to conventions, a game that we like to do when we have like a room that they'll give us panels and everything like that. Because you got to think a lot of the times when apocalyptic scenario hits, the people that you are right there, that becomes your crew. That's your new crew. That's
what I said earlier. I said, who am I with?
So I'm gonna say a good game to play next time you're on set or something like that. Just throw out the scenario. All right, apocalypse hit. All right, because then you gotta survey the people. You gotta be like, okay, who knows how to do medical stuff? Because if like I want to gauge our chances of surviving from this point. So it's like you won't set assistants, and you got to make it through.
If I'm on set on sisters, we taking on the apocalypse. I'm very very confident with my sisters cast. We taking on whatever aliens come through, zombies or whatever. I got a good group of men and women. Yeah. We gonna do it. I feel very confident with us.
Because that's what you got to. Yeah. You got to base it off of that because you got to figure out.
If you get one of them on your podcast too, I'm telling you, they're gonna say the same thing. I'll be like, what my cast? Yeah, the cast. We're gonna be all right. We'll figure it out.
Because that's always it. Because you got to think like, okay, who good at cooking? Who good at like harvesting food? Who's a good hunter?
Yeah.
Like if somebody gets hurt, who knows medical stuff? Like you gotta start gauging your crew and see how. Because you got to rebuild. You got to rebuild.
You have to. And we got them. Yeah. You know it's crazy because I do enjoy those type of movies. You know what I mean? Those apocalyptic scenarios, and you're just like, man, what would happen if that went down? And you're right. Whatever group you're with, that becomes your team. You know what I mean? So y'all got to figure it out. That's scary, man.
It is, man. It is. It's super scary. All right. So the last segment, we want to do a quick top 5. Now, so the caveat that I give for my top 5s is it doesn't have to be in order, and it can be currently right now because I know certain top 5s change. Okay. So I know that you are a huge football fan. Like you said, Saturdays and Sundays, you and your group chat, y'all just pretty much watch and y'all just chop it up.
That's it. Yeah.
So I need to get your top 5 NFL players.
Woo! Oh man. Are we talking about current or just Well,
let's do all time for you. I like to do all time.
Okay,
but it could be your currently top 5 all time, right? So like if it changes later on, like that way people are gonna be like, oh, you said that before. Like this is currently how you're feeling. Your top 5 all time.
Yeah, I'm first of all, preface, I'm a big Cowboys fan. So, but big fan. We're gonna figure it out. We just will.
Yep.
Deion Sanders, all time great. One of my favorite.
My favorite player of all time.
Swag, confidence, just what he brings to a team. Like there is a thing about when you get certain guys that when you be like, I'm taking the field, I got this guy with me. Yeah. Oh, it's on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go Deion. I love Randy Moss. I think just one of the best players.
He's just annoyingly good. It's like if he's not on your team, you're like, why is he so good?
That's how because the Cowboys were supposed to draft him, and we passed on him. Yeah. And I just remember when he came back that day and then lit us up. It was like 3 for 100 something, 3 touchdowns. But I just remember watching him throughout his career. He was incredible. Barry Sanders. I couldn't move like that, but always if you just made a cut, you just felt like you were just moving like Barry. You know what I mean? So Barry Sanders was incredible. I'm gonna start leaning towards receivers. Terrell Owens. He was just a monster.
Yeah.
Again, I wasn't 6'4" and everything, but those guys were everything. This one's tough. That's 3. I'm gonna go, even though he's an Eagle, love Brian Dawkins. I love Brian Dawkins. Safety for the Eagles. He was just a monster, just taking guys' heads off.
Yeah.
And man, who am I gonna give? Right now, I love Lamar Jackson. I love Lamar Jackson.
Solid.
I love watching him play ball, man. I think he's just this new wave of QBs that are coming in that can throw the ball, run the ball. Obviously, he's dynamic with the ball in his hands. I don't think he gets enough credit for what he can do throwing the ball. And I think that his best years are just getting ready to start going. Even though people think he can run the ball, I think he can really sling that rock. So, is that 5?
Yeah, that's 5.
Yeah, that's 5. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to break it hard because I have my old school. I have my old school
right.
guys that I like. And I still love my Troy Aikman, those guys and everything. But then there's this new wave of class that are coming in that I love.
All right. So one last top 5 because you love your superhero movies. We talked about DC. We talked about Marvel. Woo! What's your top 5 superhero movies?
Okay. Here we go. We're gonna go Dark Knight with the Joker.
Okay.
That's my man. I love that. I'll be a little biased here, but I'm gonna just throw that in there regardless. Dark Knight Bane.
Hey.
Captain America Civil War.
Oh, love that. I love that one.
It was so good. Geez. Oh man, there's no particular order, right? Just
no particular order.
Man of Steel.
Oh,
Cavill.
Yep.
Man, that. Oh my God, I feel a certain type of way with him not.
Man, I was so upset about that. Yeah.
I'm talking about pacing around that house when I first knew, bro. I was just like, I'm looking at tweets, waiting for somebody to tell me this is a lie. I couldn't even believe it. Oh, 5. Last one. Man, it's gotta be. That's tough. There's a few of them that are just teetering right there, and I'm like, do I want to put you over there? Because I did enjoy Spider-Man. I actually was one of the people that did enjoy Age of Ultron.
Hey, me too. I tell people here. I've been telling people because a lot of people now are appreciating Age of Ultron. I said that's going to be Eternals. Eternals. Right now, people are hating on Eternals. 5 years from now, people will
watch
go back.
Yeah, you're gonna appreciate it.
Yeah,
you're gonna appreciate it. But I'll do my last one. I'm gonna say Infinity War. Infinity War.
Solid.
So, Infinity War. Black Panther, Eternals. Spider-Man. They were all teetering, but
yep.
those ones those ones I listed, I just the feeling that I got when I watched them,
bro,
I was just like
legit,
man.
The theater was dead silent at the end because remember there was no post or end credit scene. They disappeared in Infinity War, and then it was done, and everybody was like, "Wait, is that it? The lights came on." I'm like, "What? Like, did we lose? Like, we lost?
Was crazy." Like, can I do a 6-1 honorable mention?
Yeah.
You know, wasn't Marvel DC? Did you watch X-Men: Days of Future Past?
Of course I did.
Man, that was some smoke. That was some so that was my honorable mention in there. I know it said Marvel DC, but I just can't forget about that one because I love the mutants. I love X-Men. Obviously I want to be either a hero, mutant, whatever. But that movie I remember because that movie started off with guys getting the mutants getting killed, and I was like, "Hey, yo, wait, hold on! These Sentinels ain't no joke."
Right?
They made them Sentinels. It was actually scary. Like the music, the score. Like the writing was great, but when the Sentinels came in, you could hear the ships coming and you could hear them drop. You're just like, these guys are not gonna make it. You know what I mean?
There was.
And I always like. I think that's why I said why I lean towards these movies that are a little more grounded because when you can make it feel like, hey, he might not get through this. That's when you get the audience on the edge of their seats. You know what I mean? Where just like it's true storytelling right there, where the villain is not just some campy monster villain where it's just like, oh, okay, they're gonna beat him. It's like this guy it might, defeat our quote unquote hero, like the Joker, like Bane. When Bane beat the brakes off of Batman, I was and the writing is like these guys will write it in a sense where you might not know the hero's gonna come out of it at the end.
He broke his back.
I love that stuff.
You like Batman got his back broken? Like, wait a minute, hold on. Hey, Batman, so I'm gonna give you a gem because obviously, like I said, you're a very busy guy, with your with your workout regimen and everything like that. If you ever want to get back into comic books, right, but you don't have the time to sit down and read it, there's a YouTube channel called Comic Storian. I don't know if you're familiar with it.
Storian?
Yeah. What he does is he dramatically reads comic books. So like you can put it on YouTube and just listen to it and what makes it such a dope channel is that because he dramatically reads it, you are able to get into it like you listen to an audio graphic book, right? And so like he's changing his voice for the Joker, Batman, and the reason why I say that is if you like Infinity War, that comic book run of Infinity War is way more real. Like you really get your heart taken right out of your body on there, right? And so I was I would say like if you ever get a chance to and you're like, you know what, I'm gonna work out, I'm not gonna listen to music today, I want to catch up on some comic book stuff, throw on that channel, and he puts them in playlists. So like you can be like, you know what, I want to learn, I want to catch up on what Black Panther is really doing in the comic books, and you can go to the Black Panther playlist and hit play and just listen to it, and he going through these storylines in depth, reading the panels, and you really get brought into that comic book world. It's an easy way to get back into comic books until you're able to get back down and start sitting down and reading them.
That's dope. I appreciate that because one of the things I've been trying to do and dive into is seeing more of the Black comic book superheroes, villains, or whatever, because I'm trying to find, because it's everyone, we touched on it earlier, and I'm not super versed. I'm still like diving in as far as which one I want to play. Because I remember I was sitting there and my brother asked me, he said, what Black, hero or villain would you want to bring to life? And I was like, and the cliche or what out there is just the Green Lantern, what I mean? But what Black Panther brought, it just gave you an intro to a few other, characters. And then I sat back and I was like, hold on, there's some more of these guys that haven't been brought to life yet. And I said, well, if Green Lantern don't, go my way, cool, because I'm a Robert Downey Jr. I'm gonna bring an obscure character and make him prime time. You know what I mean? And the more I think about it, the more I'm just sitting there like, I think that's kind of where I'm leaning towards, bringing someone else, and bring that person to life. So I've been diving in slowly. There's a whole bunch, man. So yeah, that's for me. Prodigy, Sync, different characters like that. I've just been like, all right, let me see if I can see what one I can feel like I gravitate to.
Another dope documentary, if you haven't got a chance to watch, Milestone Generations. It's pretty. So the creator of Static Shock, the Milestone Comics.
Static Shock, yeah.
They got a documentary out called Milestone Generations, which is narrated by Method Man. Method Man, huge comic book head. But he talks about all those black characters and that black collective who started Milestone and everything that they was trying to create. But also, again, let's say, hey, bro, utilize me. I followed you on all social media platforms. If you ever need to know, hey, yo, Deuces, what black character should I look into? I got you. Like I said,
give me a list. Send me a list.
I interviewed Jay Ellis, and what was dope was Jay Ellis, like another character that they haven't that they haven't introduced yet is called Blue Marvel, and it's a black character and everything like that. And so he's heavily interested in that. But it's like, yeah, bro, like that's my whole goal is to, like I said, the clips that I use from this promo is going to be a lot of the clips of me and you talking about, hey, Chido ready for this, he ready for that, because I like to help manifest that. One of my favorite interviews, and reason why I love this platform, and we'll wrap up. The reason why I love this platform is I get to talk to people who have these aspirations in nerd culture, but we haven't had that yet. When I spoke with O'Shea Jackson Jr., he wanted to be the Kevin Feige of video game movies. He said that he loves video games so much, but these movies are not being taken serious. And I want to bring that level of seriousness to it, and then you get to see him being stuff like Godzilla and Star Wars. And it's he's living that blurred dream and he's getting a step closer to doing what he wants to do. And it's like, I love having that conversation because he never talked about that anywhere else but on my platform. Jay Ellis never talked about Blue Marvel on my platform. And I like that.
I don't think I've ever talked about it, so that's dope.
Yeah, so yeah, man. So where can my people find you at, and what do you need them to support you on?
Well, first of all, you can follow me on social media right now, on Instagram, Twitter platforms, just stay up to date with just my life, different projects and everything coming up at YEA_I'm Chido, letter I, letter M, CHIDO. Tune in Wednesday nights. Please tune in Wednesday nights. Continue to watch Sisters on BET. Please continue to watch, even though I'm not really your favorite character. We still good. People still be running up on me and be like, I can't stand you. You get on my nerves. I'll be like, hey, it's just a character. But obviously, I was fortunate enough to be in other projects this past year. Whether it be Top Gun, movie on Amazon Prime called Something from Tiffany's, another movie on Amazon and Apple TV called Seven Faces of Jane. I'm filming in Hawaii, Magnum PI right now. So
snap!
So yeah. So that's why I was bouncing back and forth trying to reschedule and everything. I was like, I'm all set. You set your time for one thing, they reschedule. You're just like.
I understand. That's why I'm very patient. Patience. One thing about this industry is patience pays off. You know what I'm saying? I've seen a lot of people shoot themselves in the foot where, like you said, your scenario, you're like, oh, I gotta reschedule. They on Twitter blasting you. Oh my God, Chido don't want to talk to me. I'm like, bro, that's not, you never gonna get interviews ever again.
It's like literally, I told him, I was like, set it up for this time because I'm flying back home. I got like a day or two here, and then I'm gonna fly back to Hawaii. So it's like. It's a lot, but I'm super glad. I can't wait to do this again because you're gonna get my comic book game and my anime game up. So I got you. And I'm excited too because I've definitely been trying to it's hard when you're doing it on your own, but when people are real versed in this world and they're like, hey, I can navigate you, help you navigate this a little better, show you what you can think about. I'm like, yeah, give me, because there's so many. I just remember. I think I went down a rabbit hole one night. I was up to like 2 a.m. just clicking on different like black characters and stuff. And I was just like, ooh, Dr. Voodoo. Ooh, this person. Blue Marvel.
Dr. Voodoo's solid too.
Ooh, Prodigy. Ooh, who's this guy? Who's this? I was just like going up, man. I was like, and then reading their attributes and stuff like that. I'm like, well, who do I relate to? Whose body type would I fit? And it was fun. And doing that with the mutants and stuff as well. So it excites me, man, because I love this world. And again, like I said, I'm gonna be doing movies and TV forever. Playing a detective or whatever. I have dream worlds and that, but I gotta do this. I gotta be a part of this world, man. I gotta bring something to life. So
dope. All right, man. Well, this has been 101 with Deuces. I've been your boy Deuces. This has been the amazingly talented, the super dope Chido. I'm gonna say it again. Nwokocha. Chido Nwokocha, and we are out. Peace.